Instagram was good. We are now live. I got my mask with me. I'm not gonna wear it while we're doing this live, but I'll keep it with me just in case some people come in. I gotta put the mask on to protect myself. If you are watching this on Facebook replay, you can still leave me a comment, tell me your name and where you're checking in from, because you're probably gonna like this page, and I'll probably hear from you again because I'm doing these lives consistently, at least through the time you see. I got a scheduled live event there, so where you see that scheduled live event is going to keep coming out. If you coming in on Instagram, it says it is telling my followers that I have started a live video. So let me go ahead and pin my comment so y'all know what's going on. As y'all coming in on Facebook, tell me your name and location down in the comment section. Y'all know how to use the comment section. This is Dre All Day coming to y'all live. Let's get some light. Make sure everybody can see me. I know everybody can hear me. We're going to get started in less than 60 seconds. No, we'll say exactly 60 seconds. We're going to get started. So as y'all come in, tell me your names and locations in the comment section. We're going to get started momentarily. The topic here today, you see it in the title. Facebook, y'all see it in the title. Y'all see the link to the game group, Working Your Game University. You get free access for 2 weeks to all of the best material that I have ever created and ever put out. Ray from Playa del Rey. I think you got the first comment, so congratulations to you. Instagram, y'all see the pinned title. We'll just call it the title. Y'all see it down there at the bottom. I ain't got to explain to you where it's at. Why and how to be political ASAP. And I touched on this a little bit in yesterday's live, but I'm gonna do more than touch on it here today. We're gonna make sure we get deep into it so everybody understands exactly what I'm talking about, why I'm talking about it, and why it matters, why it applies to you and what you have going on. So as y'all come in, tell me your names and locations in the comment section. We getting started in 15 seconds. So while we're getting ready to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. We'll say that we starting right now. I'm gonna introduce myself, then we're gonna get right into the proceedings. For those of you who don't know me, even if you do, let me tell you again, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I'm a former 9-year professional basketball player, author of 25 books, creator of the whole Work on Your Game framework, philosophy, business, and brand. I have created over 7,000 videos on YouTube, published over 6,000 articles, over 1,400 masterclasses in the podcast app. I got these books here in front of me. I've created over 200 programs and products. I started my entrepreneurial career while I was still playing professional basketball, making products for basketball players. Now I work with entrepreneurs, athletes, business professionals on the mental game, on starting their professional careers or whatever they want to do, whether it's creating content, selling products, building an audience, playing basketball, whatever it is you want to do with your business, or getting things in order. If you already have a business, you just want to get things in more order. You want more discipline, more confidence of what you got going on. Those are the people who call me. Those are the people who come to me. So what we're going to talk about here today is one aspect of this whole Work on Your Game philosophy. Now, I wrote a book called Work on Your Game. If you didn't know about it, here it is right here. I'll tell you a little bit about this later on in this conversation, but y'all can find out about that at workonyourgamebook.com. Damian Brown was good over there on Facebook. What we're going to talk about here today is why you need to be a political person, why you need to be more political ASAP. Now, as I said, I touched on this a little bit in yesterday's live. If you missed yesterday's live, it is live on Facebook, not live, but it's there on Facebook. You can watch that whenever you get to it. You should get to it sooner rather than later before you forget. And I will be putting that on YouTube as well. But one of the things that I found a lot of people talk about when it comes to using this word politics, especially coming from a sports background, you get a lot of people who say, well, you know, I wanted to play high school, but the AAU team is all this politics going on, so I didn't get my chance. Or I want to play college ball, but I didn't get a scholarship because it's all political. Or I want to play in the pros, but I can't because it's politics. Somebody who knew somebody else who had a connection, they got a spot that I didn't get because I didn't know somebody, or I wasn't in the right place, so I'm not from the right neighborhood. And people kind of use politics as just in the culture, the zeitgeist of the culture. People say, well, politics, office politics is something that you want to avoid. You want to stay away from the political stuff going on in the office, political stuff going on in sports. I remember I watched one of those like National Geographic shows where they show people who are in prison, and they'll be talking about it. Like somebody, I got beat up in prison by a bunch of people. Why'd you get beat up? And they was like, well, prison politics. So it's just politics, things that are happening between people in that space. So politics is everywhere that you go. All right. So if you're in prison, it's going to be politics. You work in an office building, there's politics. You on Instagram, there's politics. You play sports, there's going to be politics. So politics is involved in everything that we do. But what I want to do here today is help you to in your mind, demystify this whole concept of politics, because a lot of people look at it as if it's something negative. Politics is not a negative thing. Politics is actually a good thing if you understand what it is and you understand how to make it work for you. So that's my subject matter here today. So everybody understanding that, let's get into it. And if anybody has a question about anything that I say here today, I will address all the questions at the end. So hold your questions to the end. I will address them once I get through the points here today. And when I get through these points, I'll probably have answered your question already anyway. So let's get right into it. Number one point I want y'all to understand is this. Let's get a definition of this word politics, actually, before I get the first point. Politics is the act of promoting or protecting one's own self-interest. Now, is there anybody who's listening to me right now who doesn't do that? Anybody who's listening to me right now who does not protect or promote your own self-interest? Everybody does that. Everybody does things to help themselves. You do things to protect yourself. If you got a certain good thing going, you're not going to let somebody just come in and mess it up. And if you got something good that you want to do, you're probably going to take advantage of that opportunity. You're going to help yourself to get yourself further ahead and advance your life, your business, whatever you have going on. So that's what politics is. That's all politics is. All right. So this is not the political definition talking about the government. I'm not talking about running for mayor or city council or being a president. That's a different type of politics. Definition of politics is doing things to protect or advance your own self-interest. Everybody does that. So just on that definition alone, understand that you don't want to get away from politics. You are already 10 toes deep in politics. All right. If you work on your game to get better, anybody who's listening to this who wants to get better and you want to go further and you want to make more money, you want to advance your career, you want to have a stronger relationships, you want to be in a better position a month from now than you are right now, you are political. You're doing things to help yourself. All right. So everybody's already in this. All right. So what I want you to understand is that when people are winning and things are working in their favor, they say, well, yeah, I was out there networking and I connected with this person and that person. I built relationships. And because of these relationships that I networked my way into having, I got these positive outcomes. That's what we call it. We call it networking when things are working in our favor based on our connections to other people. Now, when our connections to other people are lacking, or we know the wrong people, or we don't know anybody, or we got bad relationships with people and it ends up hurting us, or nothing happens when we want something to happen, what do we call that? We call that politics. So, for example, if you're in the business world, let's say you work in some office building, some company, and you are able to get a promotion to the next level. It's 10 people trying to go for the promotion, and you get it, and somebody asks you, how'd you do it? What do you say? You say, well, I worked hard, I showed up all the time, I was dedicated, and I had the right connections. I networked with the right people in the company, and that led to me getting this position, so congratulations to me. That's how we call it networking. But if you didn't get the position, the other 9 people who didn't get it, you ask them, why didn't you get the job? Very rarely you're going to hear somebody say, well, I didn't work hard enough. I didn't make the right connections. I didn't network often enough. The reason I didn't get the job is because of politics. That's usually what people say. People blame politics, but they credit networking. That's what we do as human beings. When we win is networking, when we lose is politics, but they're two sides of the exact same coin. So I want you to understand that first of all. Now let me give you my first point. You cannot avoid or run from politics. It's impossible. You want to be a non-political individual, what you need to do, short of killing yourself, is you need to get rid of your car and your house, and you need to go move into a cabin out in the woods somewhere where you don't have to deal with human beings at all, or off the grid, or don't have a cell phone, don't have any kind of bills, nothing you got to pay for that connects you to the human civilization, don't have any of that. That is the only way you cannot be political. All right. The saying is, as soon as you put 3 people in a room, you're going to have politics. All right. Anytime you got to deal with other people, politics is going to be involved. So don't try to be an anti-political individual. It's impossible. The only people who boast about not being political are the people who are the most political, but they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes and make you think that they're not political, but they're probably doing more political stuff than anybody else in the room. But that's the way that they trick you. All right. That's the way that they pull the wool over your eyes. Every human being acts with a flexible morality when it comes to our own self-interest. And what that means is any of us will do whatever we got to do to help ourselves if we want to help ourselves bad enough. And the thing is, sometimes doing things to help ourselves means we got to move somebody else out the way. Sometimes it means for us to win, sometimes somebody else got to lose. There are times in life when everybody can win, but there are times when everybody can't win. And we got to do something to help ourselves, and that means you might have to take an L for me to get this W. And you're usually going to do that. Now, while you might rail against somebody else doing it, and you might wag your finger at them in a Facebook comment if you think somebody else did something that you felt was immoral, listen, if you had a chance to do the same thing to help yourself, and the alternative was to not help yourself and to lose, you would probably do it too. If you felt like you could get away with it and it wouldn't become news, headline news, you would probably do it too. So don't pull the morality card. Don't try to occupy the moral high ground and act like you are just higher than other people because you wouldn't do something to help yourself. You absolutely would. Maybe you just haven't done it. Maybe you haven't done it as much as other people, but it doesn't mean you wouldn't do it if you had the chance to do it. So every human being's morality is flexible when it comes to themselves. Now, everybody's just a super moral, I'll do everything right type of person when you're talking about what somebody else did. But when it comes to what you're doing, or you would do the same thing they did, but the only difference between you and them, let's say the president or some politician or some famous person that gets caught in a scandal and you on Twitter talking about how terrible they are because of what they did. Listen, the only reason you can say that is because it wasn't you. Well, let's say that was you that did the same thing. Would you want everybody to know about it? Would you put it on the front page of the news? Would you write a Facebook status update telling everybody the story of how you really achieved that outcome? Probably not. Why? Because again, we're all politicians. We all do things to help ourselves. Again, especially if we think we can get away with it and we're not going to get trashed in the media or out in the environment, whatever our environment happens to be, whether that be 10 people or 10 million people. Again, so it's easy for us to wag our finger at other people when we're in a crowd, but put yourself up on that stage is a whole different situation. So if you're a type of person who doesn't do things to help yourself and to aid your own self-interest, what's going to happen is this. Other people are going to do things to advance their self-interest, and they're going to use you as a pawn. They're going to use you as a stepping stool. They're going to step all over you, walk all over you, use you, abuse you, take advantage of you. These are all phrases that everyone's heard these phrases, but nobody wants to be a victim of any of this. One of the easiest ways to become a victim of any of these things by people that you think are bad people is to be the type of person who won't be political. Now, since everybody watching me right now is political, understand that you have done this to other people. You might not see it that way. You might not see yourself as using someone or taking advantage of someone or abusing someone or taking someone's kindness for a weakness, but I guarantee you've done it before to somebody. You might not remember it, you might not recall it, or you might act like you forgot, but you've done it because that's the way that human beings advance. We all do it, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a negative thing. Like I might do a business deal with somebody and say, you know what, take advantage of the fact that I know these people and use my connections and do what you got to do. You're going to get something, I'm going to get something, everybody's going to win. So again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of times in life, humans, we tend to think that using someone else or having someone else provide something and we take advantage of it to advance ourselves as if that's just has to be a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing and oftentimes a smart thing. And you can't do everything by yourself. It's going to lead me to my second point. Point number 2 is this. Politics can do things for you that you can never do for yourself. This is the most important point of politics right here. You need politics in your life simply because of this. You don't have every skill. All right? Nobody who's listening to this, me or anybody else, nobody has every skill. All right? You might be a great salesperson, but you're not great at creating a product. You might be great at talking to people, but you're not great at designing websites. You might be great at doing a live stream, but you're not really good at doing the back end of putting a video on the internet or putting together an email list or putting together a sales funnel. You might be great at doing part A, B, and C, but you don't know how to do D, E, and F. Nobody knows how to do everything and does it really well. Now, some people might not know how to do a lot of things. It doesn't mean they're good at it. You understand? So you need politics because other people have skills that you don't have. So if you think you're going to go through life doing everything on your own, here's the problem. You're going to either run out of time or you're going to run out of talent. All right, run out of time means you're doing everything on your own, but there's only 24 hours in a day. So it's only so much you could get done on a day-to-day basis before the day is over. And now you got to go to sleep. And you didn't really get that much done because you had to do it all on your own. Whereas if you had some help, if you had other people on your team or other people working with you, or you had connections with other people who could do the stuff that you can't do, you and that person, or you and those people together, could go a lot further, a lot quicker. But, and here's the other thing that you can run out of. Run out of time is one. The other one's run out of talent. Running out of talent means you're trying to do everything yourself, but you come up against something that you really can't figure out, or you're really just not that good at it, or you're just trash at doing something, but you insist on doing it yourself. It's like if you want to have a website, but you don't know how to design websites, you don't know how to use WordPress, you don't even know how to register a domain name, but you insist on making your website yourself because you don't want to deal with other people. You don't want to have to explain to somebody what you want. Nobody understands you. Nobody can do it as well as you. All these excuses that people use to not deal with others and not be political. All right, there's only so much you're going to be able to do with no skill to make it look like the way you want it to go. It's going to take you a year to put up one page on a website. Whereas there's somebody in India right now who are doing it on Fiverr for $5, but you insist on doing it yourself. So being political means leveraging and using the skills of other people to advance your own self-interest. And again, this is not a negative thing because to leverage somebody else's skills, you're going to give them something. They're going to give you something. So you go to someone and say, yo, I need somebody who could design a website for me. Somebody will say, yo, I'll do a website for you. Pay me $50 and I have a website for you within 72 hours. And you say, okay, I'll give you the $50. That's what you want. You give me the website within 72 hours. That's what I want. It's a win-win situation. Everybody wins. But you got to be thinking like a politician to do this. In other words, when you come up against something or come up to a point in your life or your business where there's certain things that you want to get done, but you don't know how to do them, or you might know how to do it, but you know it's going to take you too much time, or you know how to do it and you know how long it would take you, but at the same time, you think you're better off spending your time doing something else. Say, all right, who can do this for me? And what kind of exchange can I set up with this person so that they can do it? I get what I need, they get what they need, and I can focus on something else that I'm better at. All right, this is what people who use leverage do. All right, so if you think about it, like Steve Jobs, he's not alive anymore, but when he designed the iPhone and you bought an iPhone, Steve Jobs wasn't in the Apple store selling you the phone. No, he wasn't in the factory putting the glass on the front of the phone. He wasn't in the wherever they do it, the fulfillment center, putting the phone in a box and writing your address on it and shipping it out to you. He did his part. Then he put people in place to do all the other parts because he knew there was only so much time that he had in a day and there was only so much talent he had within himself. He knew what his talent was. He focused on that, and then he found people who could do the other things. So you right now, let's just say is you. Your whole operation is just you right now. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it may take a little bit of time to build up such an infrastructure, to make the right connections, to build the right relationships, and know the right people. What you need to do then is actually start thinking about it. You might not be able to do it all right now, but you could at least start thinking about it. All right, what parts of my day am I doing stuff that I should probably have somebody else do because I'm not that good at it, or it takes me too long, or I just don't like doing it? What are those things? Those are the things you need to be asking yourself, and you need to start thinking about who can do these things so I can take this off of my plate and give it to somebody else. That's politics. This is all politics. Now, you might call it other things. You might have other words for it, but this is politics. You cannot do it all on your own. You can't do all the hard work yourself. I don't care how hard you work on your game, how motivated, how dedicated you are. Be smart and utilize other people as shortcuts. And here's the thing. Other people will utilize you as a shortcut. So whatever it is you're great at, let's say you're a great web designer. You're great at putting together websites. There are people out there who are not great at it, but they got great ideas, but they need a website. So they'll come to you. They'll leverage your skills. You charge them money. You get the money. That's what you want. You get to do what you're great at, which is make the website. They get what they need. Everybody's happy. And they'll refer you other people. You keep making money. You keep making people happy. Everybody wins. All right, and the person who has the skills that want to get it on the internet, they can help the people that they need to help because you made the website. You brought it to life for them. So learn how to utilize other people as shortcuts and allow people to utilize you as a shortcut. Just again, you tell them, this is what you got to give me to get it. I'm going to give it to you. You give me what I want. I give you what you want. Everybody wins. All right. Win-win-win situation. Trust that you don't have to do everything on your own. Utilize other people. And point number 3, I'm going to paraphrase a guy by the name of Plato, Greek philosopher named Plato. Here's the quote. Those who are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber. In other words, any of you who thinks you're too good for politics, thinks you're not going to be a political person, you think that's low down, you think it's dirty, it's too conniving, you don't want to get in politics because you think is too much backstabbing going on and you got to, I don't know, whatever it is about you think is not righteous to be a politician, understand that the people who are not as righteous as you, who are not as smart as you, who are not as good as you, and they decide to go to that low level of politics, what you call low level stuff, those people are going to have an advantage over you because they're going to know people that you don't know. They'll be able to get things done that you can't get done. They'll be able to be a lot more efficient than you can be, and they're going to have access to more talent than you have access to. There's only so much talent you have within yourself. And there's only so many things you personally can do. But me with 10 other people that all are talented at 10 different things, I'll get a whole lot more done than you thinking that you're talented at all 10. Because you're probably not. You're probably lying to yourself. You might be talented at maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 if you're spectacular, but not all 10. I'm going to get a whole lot more done a lot quicker than you're going to get it done because of the politics. Because I got other people on my team, other people working in my favor, other people on my side, and we all have the synergy of working with each other, give each other mutual benefit. If you refuse to engage in politics, you will be beaten and taken advantage of by people who do engage in politics. So the next time you think politics is slowing you down or blocking you from doing what you want to do, I'm going to tell you something. You're probably right. It is blocking you from doing what you want to do. And the problem is not that everybody else is political because that's a bad thing. The problem is you are not being political enough. And that's why you're losing, because you are not doing enough politics. What you need to do is ask yourself, how can I be more political? How can I leverage other people and let other people leverage me and create the right connections and relationships so that I can get more done through me and the people that I know instead of me trying to do everything by myself? Most of the time when people blame politics for their lack of achievement is because they've been trying to do everything by themselves. And again, human beings have a limit. We can't do everything. Now let me recap these points. Then I'm going to take questions. I'm going to see if anybody got any questions. The topic, again, is why you need to start being a political individual ASAP. The definition of politics is the act of promoting or protecting one's own self-interest. When we win in life, we credit networking and relationships. When we lose, we point at politics. But they're two sides of the exact same coin. First point, you cannot avoid or run from politics. Right? Everyone has a flexible morality when it comes to their own self-interest, and anybody will use you when they see an opportunity to use you if they feel like they can get away with it. You do the exact same thing to other people. You might not remember it, you might not want to recognize it, you might not want to admit it, but you do. All right, I don't need you to admit it. I know that you do. If you're going to get ahead in life, you got to utilize other people. You can't do it all yourself. You don't have that much talent. Point number 2, politics can do things for you that you cannot do for yourself, or that you don't want to, or that you don't have to do for yourself. If you try to do everything yourself, you're going to run into 2 problems. You're either going to run out of time, you're going to run out of talent, probably both. All right, no human being has every skill. No human being has unlimited time. So you need to learn to leverage other people, make connections. And don't just make connections with people who are just like you because they got the same skills that you have. They got the same weaknesses that you have. That's not really beneficial for you. You need to get with people who have skills that you don't have, and you got skills that they don't have. So you can help them, they can help you, and everybody wins. All right, this is how political people think. They don't go say, let me go find people who are just like me. No, they go find people who are different from them, maybe have the same values and principles, but are different from them so that everyone can get the synergy. You get something, they get something, everybody wins in the long run. Look at anybody who has become very successful by your definition of success. I guarantee you they are utilizing politics, getting other people working for them and you working for them as well, or them working for other people. All right, there's money you don't have to make yourself, trust that you don't have to gain on your own. All you got to do is leverage the right person. And then you ever been hooked up with on a blind date, or you had a friend who hooked you up with somebody, with their friend, and you didn't know that person, but because you had a mutual friend, that person was open to you simply because they had the trust, and you were able to leverage their trust to get that trust with the third person, and that got your foot in the door in that situation. It works in business all the time. We call it referrals. It works in the relationship world when somebody just hooks you up, or they say, let me connect you with my friend. This is what it is. All right, when you go on somebody else's, if I go on somebody's podcast and the audience of their podcast never heard of me, but because I'm standing next to the host and everybody's heard of the host because they're listening to that show, now they're willing to listen to me because I'm standing next to that person. So I'm leveraging that person's audience, and they're leveraging my knowledge. So I get something, they get something, the host gets something, and the audience gets something. Win, win, win. This is how political people think. And point number 3, to paraphrase the Greek philosopher Plato, those who are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber. In other words, if you refuse to engage in politics, you will be beaten, taken advantage of, and used and abused by people who are smarter, or not even smarter, but I guess dumber than you, because it's so dumb that they engage in politics and you're too smart for politics. Politics will chew you up and spit you out if you refuse to get in the game. So get in the damn game. Stop thinking politics is a bad thing. Think of it as a good thing, and learn how to leverage it and use it. All right, if you try to run away from it, all it's going to do is hurt you. If you leverage it and use it, it can benefit you, but you got to start thinking differently when it comes to politics. So now I'm going to address any questions and comments that we got down in the comment section. So if somebody got a question or comment, go ahead and post it right now. It needs to be related to the topic. If it's not related to the topic, I'm not addressing it. And I'll tell you where you can get answers to any other topics that you may have a question about. Before I do that, let me tell you about these 2 books that I hold in my hand right here. These books are both free. I will ship them to you worldwide, anywhere that you live. All you got to do is tell me where to send it, and I'll tell you how to do that right now. This book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation. This book is free. I will ship it worldwide. All you got to do is take care of the shipping. It is the self-guide to self-discipline. You want to get this book so that you can light that fire inside of yourself and find that spark for your personal life so that you can start being who you need to be, so you can do what you need to do, so you can have the life that you want to have. I will send you this book for free right now. All you got to do is take care of the shipping. Go to mirrorofmotivation.com. Mirrorofmotivation.com. I will ship this book to you worldwide. Just give me an address. If you got an address, I will ship it to you. It don't matter where it at, any country. It could be a P.O. box. It could be your office building. It could be your house. It does not matter. You will get this book, mirrorofmotivation.com. This one right here is balloverseas.com. That's the website. This book is called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This book is for anybody who wants to do, you see that little graphic? You want to get on a plane and play basketball. All right, you want to get on a plane to go play basketball and get paid for it and travel the world and do what 99.9% of basketball players never do, which is get paid to play basketball as your full-time job. Can you imagine doing that? Can you imagine a job any better than that? With this book right here, I'm going to show you how to get that job, how to create that career. Not just get one job, but do it over and over and over again and have a career playing professional basketball. If you want to do that and live out your dreams and fulfill your destiny as an athlete, go to balloverseas.com. I will ship you this 237-page book. Ain't no pictures in this book. This is all raw game to tell you what to do to get into the pro basketball world. Not just get there, but stay there. Go to balloverseas.com and get the Overseas Basketball Blueprint so you could be the next person getting on a plane to go play basketball like you see right here in the picture. Now, let me see what we got going on in the comment section. For those of y'all who came in the middle of this, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I'm the creator of this whole framework, philosophy, brand, and business called Work on Your Game. It's about using a pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. If you haven't read this book, I suggest, first of all, you start by reading this one. This is your entry fee. This is your gateway drug right here. This is your entry pass, is to read this book. So you understand that the basic philosophy is what we're talking about. This one here is the full framework, Work on Your Game. Use a pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. You can get that at workonyourgamebook.com, along with 5 bonuses that are not available anywhere else. Now, with all that said, we'll be seeing if we got anything that I need to address in the comment section. Bradley Anderson says, I've been here a bit. All right, what's up, Bradley Anderson? I appreciate the comment. State of Entertainment, what's good? Let's see. The Kid AD, what up? Coffee Duck Greats, what's going on? Raja Ra says, everybody can't be the engine to the car. You need other parts for the whole car to work. Exactly. You understand my point? Exactly. So you need a steering wheel, you need some tires, you need an engine, you need seats, you need all that. Windshield wipers, everything. Question is being political basically teamwork? Not exactly, because people don't have to be on your team for you to be political. You can just leverage another person. Y'all don't have to be on teams. You give them something, they give you something. Y'all might never see each other ever again. But in that one interaction, they got what they needed, you got what you needed. So it's not necessarily a team. Team, I would suggest, comes together for a common goal. Y'all might have different goals, but that's what a team, everybody has the same goal, right? A basketball team, you're trying to win the championship. In politics, for example, like I said, I might go on somebody's podcast. My goal is to get in front of the host's audience. Their goal is to give their audience a new voice, somebody who has some value to add that's different from them. So we have different goals, but our different goals actually serve each other when we work together. So that's not necessarily teamwork, but again, I get something, they get something, the audience gets something, everybody wins. So that's what politics is. That's what makes it a little bit different. But I would suggest to you, anybody who's thinking that, any concept that I share with you here, don't try to dumb it down and paraphrase it into something that you've already heard of. Take it as it is, as something new information. Don't try to paraphrase it into something that you heard of before by calling politics teamwork. They're not the same thing. That's the reason why I'm giving you this stuff. Because if it was just teamwork, then I wouldn't even be doing this live stream. I could tweet that. Hey, teamwork is a good thing. All right, that'll take me 5 seconds. Introspective Idea says, would you say that politics is a catalyst that you can use to work on your communication skills? No. I would flip that around and say communication skills is what you need to get better at politics. If you don't have good communication skills, you can't be a good politician. You notice that politicians, if we look at like government politicians, the mayor, city council, the president, they got to be good at speaking. They got to be good at communicating to an audience, a mass audience. You're talking millions of people at the same time. Barack Obama was a great orator. That was maybe some people have tried to diss him by saying that his best skill was giving speeches. Well, he was damn good at giving speeches. That's one of the reasons why he won. Because Barack Obama was a damn good communicator. He was really good at speaking to a mass audience. I'm not talking 5 people at a time. I'm talking hundreds of thousands, millions of people at a time. Barack Obama was damn good at it. And love him or hate him, Trump is good at it too. Now they're talking to completely different audiences. Like Barack Obama's audience was completely different from Trump's, but they both have an audience and they both won the election. So you can call it whatever you want. So communication skills will help you in politics. It's not that politics will help you in communication. But you could, if you got the right amount of money, go hire somebody who's good at communication and let them teach you, so you can call that politics. But I don't think that's what you mean. But if it is, I'm going to make sure I put that in there. So anybody who's coming in the middle of this, we're talking about politics here today. Why you need to be political ASAP. If you missed the meat of the presentation, you can watch this on replay. The question was, Time Meradine says Obama had many people intrigued when he would talk. Yeah, because he was very good at it. That was his skill. One of his skills, not his only skill. And one of his skills was he's a very good speaker, very good communicator. From what I hear, he was very good one-on-one as well as in a group. So you just got to know what your skills are and know where those skills fit, but you got to try things out in life to figure that out. So I'm sure Barack has some idea what he was good at. So let me tell you one more time, get these free books. mirrorofmotivation.com to get the self-guide, the self-discipline, so you can be who you really need to be, do what you need to do, and have what you want to have in your life. That's at mirrorofmotivation.com. It's a free book. Just take care of the shipping. Balloverseas.com. It's the overseas basketball blueprint. If you want to play professional basketball overseas, there is no other book out there that will show you how to do it but this one right here from a person. It came from a D3 school where I walked on to a 9-year professional basketball career, transitioned that into a business career. I'm going to do another book on that coming soon. This is the overseas basketball blueprint. You can get this at balloverseas.com. Take care of the shipping. I will ship this book to you free worldwide. Either one of these books, they're on Amazon for sale. You want to pay full price, go on Amazon. You want it free, get it where I tell you. Mirrormotivation.com, balloverseas.com. Everybody work on your game. We will be doing another live tomorrow. Keep your hands away, as you see me doing right here. Don't do what I'm doing. Keep your hands away from your eyes, nose, and mouth. Don't shake anybody's hand. If you sneeze into a cloth napkin and throw it in the trash. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and water. Work on your game. Dre all day. We out.